Tilt is not always loud. Sometimes it's a blow up, but sometimes it's a silent infection. Think about that, a silent infection. People think tilt only means slamming chips, muttering, cursing, throwing water bottles, doing Phil Hellmuth antics, or punting stacks after a bad beat. No, yes, those are tilt, sure. Those are just some forms of it. But tilt can also show up as we all know, like in your world, Sherry, impatience sometimes, right? Like with Card Dead Forever. Sometimes, for some people, it shows up as entitlement. We've seen that when we watch the videos, and these superstars they think they're God's gift to poker. And then they have one bad beat and they go on tilt and they lose all their chips, don't they? A lot of times it shows up as boredom. What I don't like, and I see it all the time, and we see it, is when it shows up as revenge. Okay? When somebody stops playing their game, they stop sticking to the plan because they want to get back their chips. Oh boy. Not cool. Huh. Sometimes it shows up as calling too light because you don't want to be bluffed again. As and sometimes it shows up as bluffing too hard because we're sick of being like ran over all the time. Sometimes it shows up as playing too many hands because we cannot stand how quiet the game can feel sometimes. Tilt has many masks. Say that to yourself silently right now. Tilt has many masks. The common thread is simple. Once emotion starts driving, decision quality starts dying. A tilted player is no longer playing the current hand cleanly. They're dragging emotional residue from previous moments into the present. They're trying to win back justice, restore pride, punish somebody, reclaim momentum, or just numb discomfort. That is no longer strategic poker. That is emotional compensation. Now, side note, and this isn't in writing, this is bonus footage for everybody. Everybody just thinks tilt happens at the table with the cards. But correct me if I'm wrong. And I'll ask you, Sherry, have you ever seen somebody go on tilt because they're fighting with their spouse over the phone, on text, or something's going on, the kids aren't listening, yada, yada, yada? Did you ever see that, Sherry?
100%. 100%. And I have this conversation all the time. And as a matter of fact, people will get mad at me because I don't have my phone out at the table because I don't want that distraction. Because sometimes that distraction is some irritation from a friend or family member, right? And as a matter of fact, one of the biggest buy-ins I ever played was in Ohio, and my so-called friend at the time was just texting me some crazy shit
In the
right
middle of
when
the poker tournament, right?
right in the middle of the tournament. And I kept telling her, dude, we can talk about this because I'm a little confused, but I can't talk about it right now. So give me a few days. And yeah, it's terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
So I got this game I play. It's a Jedi Knight trick that I play with my mentees. I did it the other night during the day, but specifically at nighttime during the employee event. Okay, I had a lot of friends, and so just so you notice about me, if you are a poker dealer, I will coach you for free. Okay, and I'm putting that out there. And it's common knowledge. If you are a poker dealer, you come to Joey, you get free coaching. Now, what does that mean? Well, for the summertime, I offer 4 packages. No, the normal rate for somebody with my head and mob, because unfortunately it comes down to head and mob, right? So somebody with 100 cashes in 4 years, with 300K, somebody with 33 final tables and 5 or 6 championships, whatever I have on Head of Mob, because Head of Mob doesn't show everything. The going rate for us is $50 an hour. That's what my competition charges, but I don't do that. I give during summer camp, I give 4 lessons for 150. So you buy 3, you get 1 free. You get that. It's a cool package. But poker dealers get coached by me for free. They're my inner circle. Just like if Sherry, if you came up to me one day and said, Joey, and this is the offer is always going to be there. If you said, Joey, I'd like some coaching, I'm going to coach. Wouldn't any of you coach Sherry for free after all she does? You get that? Okay. So during the employee event, I send out this text, I make videos, and basically they're messages that if any of my dealers that are still in the employee event are reading it, they're in trouble because that means they're on their fucking phone. Okay? You shouldn't be on your phone. There's a poker news,
Amen.
right? There's a story going on. Get out of your phone, use it for breaks. And I shout out to my brother Pedro Green because he texted me after he busted to say, I never hit my phone, but thank you, brother. I got busted. And he busted late, too, like big time into it. Or my friend Chris came, the Viking, the ginger, okay? He texted me when it was over to let me know that his aces got cracked by kings. These things happen, okay? But you don't go in your phone when you're at the table, all right? Here's an important truth. Your goal is not to become emotionless because we're human. Okay? That's fake wisdom. Okay? We are human. We are going to feel things. So why expose ourselves to more possibility of feeling things when we don't have to? Okay? Because we will get angry sometimes. We will feel embarrassed, frustrated, excited, rattled. Sometimes, though, we might even feel invincible after a heater. The goal is not to feel nothing. The goal is to notice what we're feeling before it hijacks our play. To process it in the moment, put it on a shelf, in a box, and we'll deal with it later. Sometimes we need a guide, a spiritual guide to process what the fuck just happened. Other times we figure it out ourselves, but whatever it is, it has nothing to do with the next hand we're being dealt, right? You get that, Sherry, right?
Right.
Okay.
It has nothing to do about what you're doing at that table.
Right. And we've seen players lose one stupid, ugly hand. They sit back down quickly and they spend the next 40 minutes trying to prove they're still in control because nobody likes not being in control. But when we're trying to prove to the universe that we're in control, that's when we're least in control. Okay? That poker face, when that happens, the poker face returns before the mind does. And that's a dangerous gap. Okay? You're better off, listen, if you're really bad, you're better off waiting for the button to pass, get out of your seat, go to the bathroom, get a drink, go outside, hug a fucking tree, do whatever you do, okay, to reset and start all over. If you're a music person, put your favorites list on. And those of us that wear headphones at times, we have the same, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have our poker fucking soundtrack. Okay, we know what it is, right? I mean, I know you guys have the poker, and girls have, and women have that poker soundtrack if you're a headphone person. Okay, different players tilt for different reasons. Some tilt when they get bluffed, some when they get coolered, some when they run card dead. And when you hear what happened to me last night, you understand because I'm sitting here literally with an ice pack and Colette's still finding blood around here. This is crazy shit I'm about to tell you, okay? Some players go on tilt when they run card dead too long. Some go on tilt because they keep winning hands and they feel unbeatable. Yes, winning tilt is real too. Think about that. winning tilt, anything that can distract us and take us off of the balance that we need to play. It makes people sloppy and overconfident. It doesn't matter what the trigger is. What matters is our awareness. We keep talking about that. We keep saying that word, awareness. Oh. Yesterday we were talking about spiritually awakened poker players. Interesting. And paying attention to the table. Go back and listen to the video, the recording. So we need a plan for protecting our state. Um, so yeah, maybe you stand up after a brutal pot. Maybe you breathe before looking at the next cards. Maybe you shorten the session if you're playing cash. Maybe, well, remember, God gave us 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Maybe we just stop talking. Maybe we have a rule that once we catch ourselves wanting revenge, wanting to tighten the reins, um, wanting to do stuff because of how we're feeling, maybe then we just throw in our super nitty final table play game, like the Scotty Win game at a final table, until we feel like we are grounded and back to normal so that we can go back to try to do all the creative things that require even more fucking energy. So whatever your method is, um, it needs to exist. You need to know. You need to know what is my ceremonial way to reset. And if you don't know what it is, well, you need guides, and I can help you. And I'll tell you a little teaser. So one of my ways to reset after tilt is to challenge myself in a way that is going to take a lot of bandwidth. In other words, for some people, what does that mean? For some people, that means reading something very deep, philosophical, and trying to process what that means. For me, in the poker world, and I have the advantage, and those of you that also play online have this advantage, that even when we're at the poker table, or if we're online on one website, we could always count on there's going to be a game or a situation, and the most organic, generic way that I know how to reset is to put myself in the situation where I feel like I'm playing for a ring or a bracelet. Heads up. Heads up. And when I started online poker, we could easily go into a poker room and there were these heads up sit and goes, okay, or heads up cash. They're hard to find, but they're out there. But if you really, really, really know where to look, like on Green Visor Gang, if you really know where to look, you can find a cash table with one Jedi Knight sitting there waiting for somebody else to show up. Oh, and that has to do with exec deck. We'll get to that. Okay. You have to understand that whatever your method is, it needs to exist before the damage begins. So a strong mental state is part of your bankroll. Okay. If your emotional system is cracked, your edge shrinks. And actually, you know what I should have put in there? I should have put in this is I'm reading this right from the 30-day poker coach. Okay, and thank you everyone that keeps buying it. I love it because people keep sending me. And if you see me here in Vegas, I will autograph this or any of my other books. And by the way, I'm going to be giving away other books too. A strong mental state. So what I should have done is said a physical. So whatever your method is, right? It needs to exist before the damage begins. It's not just a strong mental state, but it has to be a strong physical state too, right? It has to be part of our bankroll. If your emotional system is cracked, your edge shrinks. You can know all the right things in theory and still torch your chip stack, right? We've seen this. This happens. You may know everything and still you torch your chip stack. You know what happens? Our nervous system screams louder than our logic. Um, And the first opponent is not always the person across the table. Sometimes it's the version of you that wants to react instead of think. Now, I'll tell you what happened to me yesterday. I'm playing on the amazing Club GG, okay? And I'm playing in WASP, okay, and WSOP.com. And I'm not alone doing this. So when I say what I say, you could roll your eyes because I know Colette's right here sitting next to me. And when she hears it, she's going to roll her eyes. But some of us, this is the norm. I'm in 10 different tables. You get that, Sherry? 10, right?
Yes, I'm trying to look something up. Sorry for the
No,
delay.
you're good.
I'm trying to look something up. Go ahead.
Hmm. And if anybody that's listening to this thinks that's stupid, well, you know what I love? We have